So, we're not gonna let Christian have a double chin. That's what we're not going to do. Oh my goodness. I really did have a good time on live yesterday. And I don't know, it's just really discouraging. Like, I don't know what exactly is going on. Like, I feel like every video I talk about, views, analytics, and whatever, and it's not to like shame people that aren't, interacting, engaging, whatever. It's not for that reason. It's just so frustrating when you feel like you're putting the work in and your work isn't being acknowledged. And I know, blah blah blah, you shouldn't do things for others, or you shouldn't do things for the numbers, but it's like, let's say this is my job, and at your job you get paid based off of how many people watch your videos. Like, there was one day, oh my goodness, last summer I got the biggest YouTube check of my monetization career in June. It was like $600. And for passive income, that is a lot of money. For me, like, not really doing anything, just sitting at home making money off of videos I posted already, like, $600 is decent. And I remember one day, I think the highest amount of money I made was like $30 in one day. And then now I'd be making like $3 a day. And it's really difficult to sacrifice authenticity, being my authentic self, or money. And I'm not gonna be a sellout just because I'm not going to be a sellout for those that want hair videos. Because if I was really a sellout, what I'd be doing right now is continuing to pretend and fake like I enjoy making hair videos. And that's just a miserable life, honestly. So it's really frustrating to know, like, I definitely could be at 20K by now. I definitely could be at like 25K, but that's not like what I want to do. So why do something you don't want to do just for views, money? See, some people like that. Like, you can tell in a person's eyes if they enjoy what they're doing or not. And I see a lot of people that when I see them talk about their niche on their channel, I'm like, you are so bored. And I can tell. But you feel like you're trapped in this niche because of the platform that you have gained or created for yourself based on your past. So it's just so hard for me to know that, like, I could be making, how do you even say six times? I guess I could just say 6 times, because you know how they have like quadruple, triple. I was trying to find that word. I don't know that word. But I could be making like 6 times what I'm making if I were to be fake. But since I'm not fake, I'm not making that. So that's like hard and difficult to go through, especially like watching watching my views drop, watching my revenue drop since like doing my own thing. It's like I see why y'all sell out. So yeah. But on a lighter note, I just made my shea butter, and I don't know what to do about these lines, y'all. Okay, so I just made my shea butter, and now I have to figure out how I'm gonna get my shea butter through TSA. That's the new challenge, because I told y'all my story about how I whipped a fresh batch of shea butter, and then I tried to get on the plane. They're like, no, you got to throw this away. I'm like, what is you talking about? But yeah, they made me throw it away. It was a whole thing, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I just made this batch, and I used to be all fancy with it at the end, like put it in a Ziploc bag, pipe it out. But these days I just put it right in here. And honestly, if you don't do this, if you just buy shea butter in bulk and then you don't whip it, you end up wasting a lot of product by not whipping it. Because you know, if you do use shea butter, you know, you like pick it up, you have to wait for it to like melt a little bit, and then you rub it around, and then you put it on your body. You end up picking up less product because it's already whipped. So yeah, because honestly, what's in here was like down here. It was down here, and then I added like 2 or 3 tablespoons of the other shea butter I have. So it literally tripled. It literally tripled. So let me show what it looked like. It's very freaking smooth. It's barely let me pick it up. But like, I appreciate, see, immediately. So yeah, I'm excited about that because it's gonna shave me? We don't do razors. It's gonna save me time when I'm doing my moisture routine in the shower. Because after I take my shower, I'd be like, bruh, like the water. I take showers with water that is like so hot that it feels like I'm in a sauna in the bathroom. So when I'm done with my shower, I'd be like, okay, I'm trying to get out the sauna. I'm trying to not be sweating like this anymore. So I'd be like, okay, let's speed up the process and whatever. So that's gonna help me a little bit. But I have been in the gym. Like, don't worry about it. Just know, if I vlog and I have my little swimsuit on, don't look too long, babes. Don't look too long. And I want to talk about music. I'm genuinely irritated. I'm irritated that nobody told me about Smino. And it's infuriating. It's infuriating. And YouTube, I was like listening to, you know, YouTube, like if you play one song on YouTube, like it'll just start doing autoplay, and it'll start playing little songs that you didn't click on. So I was at my grandfather's house, I was just playing music and stuff, and next thing I know, his song popped up. I'm like, it had like 17 million. Did it have it? I think it had something crazy like 17 million views. I'm like, what's this about? Let's just say add to playlist. So yeah, I'm disappointed if you didn't tell me, but now I know. So I know just to keep all my artists in my private arsenal. But yeah, okay, so I told you I went to the library. Did I tell you I went to the library? I don't know who I told I went to the library, but I went. And I got a couple of books. And I started this book called Redefining Trauma. And I'm only on like the prologue. I'm only on the prologue / introduction. And it's really good. It's called Redefining Trauma, Understanding and Coping with a Cortisol-Soaked Brain, Sarah E. Wright. And the reason why I'm liking this book is because when we talk about trauma, like when you look up the definition, they have like all these things that you have to have gone through to qualify as trauma. And it can be so annoying for you to say like, this was traumatic for me. And then for other people to invalidate your experience and be like, that's not trauma, you know. Trauma is, you know, having a single parent household, or trauma is the death of a very close loved one, or trauma is getting a face to the hand, getting a hand to the face, or like whatever you want to say. A lot of people want to say, oh, that's not trauma, that's not trauma. And basically, this book is saying that there's 3 levels to your brain. The first level is like normal stress. The second level is like moderate. And then the third level is high stress. And so there are situations where your brain would be in the high stress mode, but people don't necessarily label that as trauma. And so it's a really interesting book, and I'm excited to get into it. I think it's going to give me a lot to think about, and it's going to give me a lot of podcast topics to discuss as well. So in case you missed it, I did start my podcast. I think I'm gonna update my description box so that I'm gonna take. I feel like part of why I don't get as many comments is because my description box is so long. Like, you have to scroll because I was just trying to be a cash grab and make sure that if people was watching, you stay on my channel. So I'd be like, ooh, helpful videos, and I literally list like 20 videos. Like, I'm about to go in and fix my description box so that you don't have to do all of that scroll, like it's too much. But yeah, you can check out my podcast. Episode 2 will be coming out this Friday. Also, update, y'all, I'm so irritated about my teeth. Okay, so when I went into the orthodontist last time, they were like, it's time, bro. Okay, this is what I hate. I really hate that. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I literally have my tripod on the book because I don't want my tripod to fall off the bed. Like, my phone is my channel. Like, not that I don't care about my phone that much. I'm not obsessed, but like, my 11,000 subscribers, my business, like, that's all on my phone, so I can't be. Anyway, so I'm very annoyed with Howard University orthodontics, because every single time that I go in for my orthodontist appointment, I see a gnat. Seeing gnats makes me want to just hop up, and then you have the nerve to come over here? Like, no. So I get very annoyed when I go to my ortho appointments because I hate when people say you're almost done. What is that supposed to mean? Almost done could be 2 years. The way that y'all keep saying that I'm almost done. So every time I go in, they've been saying you're almost done for 2 years to me. And if you know that September will be 6 years with braces. They told me when I was 15, 2.5 years. If you do your math right, if you can count, 2.5 years from the age of 15, I expected my braces off. See, that's how eager. I expected my braces to be off by the age of 18. Christian is 21. She still has braces. So I'm frustrated because I'm like, I still see a gap. Let me get close. I'm like, what's this? What y'all talking about? I'm like, I still see a gap. What do you mean? So basically, if I could summarize what happened in my last appointment, they were like, listen, your braces are ready to be taken off. And I'm like, what about the gap? And they're trying to sit here and explain to me in orthodontist, hygienist, dental hygienist jargon that this space is not gonna close anymore. And I'm like, I feel like that's cap. Like, I have an honorary orthodontist degree at this point with me having braces for 6 years. I find it very hard to believe that you're just gonna tell me that you have nothing to make this space close. Huh? So what they told me was that I should go to a cosmetic dentist, and they're gonna put a piece of acrylic on my tooth to fill in the space. The reason I'm getting very irritated. The reason why this is so frustrating to me is because I watched so many people. Well, first of all, my teeth were pretty jacked up. But I watched so many people while I had braces have braces on for a couple of months and they get them taken off. But when I asked them, why do I have my braces so long and like no progress is being made, their response would always be, oh, Dr. Such and Such, he's really a perfectionist. He wants to make sure that you walk out of here with the perfect smile. You know, he's really detail oriented. He wants to make sure you're super satisfied. That's why it's taking so long. So now to get to the point of it being 6 years and me to be walking out unsatisfied and you're telling me you need to go somewhere else to get whatever this is cosmetically filled in, highly disappointed. Especially with the money that I have spent and the money that my parents have spent transporting me back and forth, and me taking time out of my week to travel all the way to DC for me to walk out with something that's less than. Then on top of that, they say, Christian, we want you to get your molars removed. Wisdom teeth. They want me to get my wisdom teeth removed. And they were like pressing me out about it. Like, we want to take your braces off, but we want you to get your wisdom teeth removed before. Because we don't want your teeth to shift. And I'm just like, and let me tell y'all this story about how the doctor that I was going to really doesn't like me. So I'll come in there. I'm coming in there every month. Like, I think it was like every Friday. Because I think so Fridays last semester, the only thing I had was Pilates. And then I was free for the rest of the day. So after Pilates, I would come home, grab my suitcase, go to the train station or whatever, go all the way to DC. So I asked the person that was like helping me, assisting with my braces. You guys keep saying a little while longer, but can you give me an estimate of a little while longer in months? And he's like, a little while longer. I don't really know what to tell you. And I'm like, you could really go get your supervisor and ask for an estimate. You're not trying hard enough for me. And so ever since that day, the next time when I came in for an appointment, oh, by the way, he was so freaking rough. He would be in my mouth with the tools, being Bob the Builder, blah, blah, blah. Then he would like hit me or like poke me with the tool, and then I would flinch, and then he'd be like, oh, did that hurt? Like something is wrong with him. So then one time he was busy with a patient, and I had been waiting in the waiting room, and they were like, oh, Dr. such and such is gonna help you instead of the other dude. And I'm like, okay, cool. And since that one day that the alternate doctor came in and helped me that one time, I have not been back to Dr. S. And it's so funny because Dr. S and my doctor, their stations are next to one another. So every time I come in to my alternate doctor, he's literally right there. And they were looking at my teeth, and they were looking at my the pictures of my teeth. And why did my current doctor have to remind Dr. S what my name was? So that should just tell you how, invested he was in like you don't even know my name, but you were in my mouth for months. That's kind of weird, don't you think? Just a smidge. But I just be like, having braces has been one of the highest levels of testing my patience in my life, because imagine somebody tells you something's going to take 2.5 years and then it takes 6. Pain, right? So yeah, I'm gonna go back to my YouTube watching, and I will show you guys my face routine. Done it 1,000 times, but I always get comments on my skin and what do you use on your skin, and you're gonna be so shocked when you only find out that it's 2 products, 3 max. So yeah, thanks for coming to my TED Talk.